buds.
It's great, isn't it?
Such your old North fangirls, you know, skied together at Whistler and shared lovers.
Just jive together. It's you know, better than everything else.
Did you see Jason behind me there?
Yeah, I saw some of that earlier.
So that guy, yeah. There's a little Morbin back there. Here's the kids up here. Here's a dolly shot, though. Here you go. Here's your pan shot. There's Kelly.
Yeah, I got some of the.
You got some of them?
Yeah.
Is there Kelly bloody? No. Let's see if there's anybody
There's
gory.
some bloody down there.
Oh, there's some bloody down there. You got to get that row. That's a good close-up row.
Nice.
We have bloody here. We have bloody here. We have bloody here. We have bloody there. Just don't show the ones in Robert because the color's not right.
Yeah.
And we have bloody. We have bloody here. It's not Robert.
Well, here's some Jason.
Yeah, don't do the one again without makeup.
No.
Because they're trying not to show them, I don't think.
Is this the angle good for you, or?
Yeah, no, this is a good angle.
Jason is a young child.
These are just like my family photos.
Yes. Eyes out, head off.
Yeah, the head off.
And this is the dummy you were telling me about.
Of course.
That just looks so fantastic.
Dead trade.
Robert, did you notice our interview was Brad and Kane free?
Yeah. Well, when you see Ken, you'll see the reason why he's at second unit, but he's really, really tall. And that's what Ronnie just did. It was just a size thing. It was nothing to do with, you know,
It was just a
Kane's
physical.
worthiness. They just wanted Ronnie just had it in his head that Jason had to be absolutely humongous, you know. And Ronnie is the director. The decision rests with him.
And you wanted somebody a little younger, a little more athletic too, right? Was it?
Well, I actually think Kane, you know, Kane is a stuntman.
Right.
So there's nothing in this movie that Kane couldn't do, that Ken's doing. It's just a size, simply size. I really believe Kane is bulkier, and Ken is just really, 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 really tall. And I think that was in his head. There's a certain exaggeration of the whole story. The whole movie is kicked up a bit, and I think that's how Ronnie sees it. It's a little larger than life. And Ken is a little larger than life.
And I can see as a fan that the makeup has evolved. We were talking about it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, this is just a partial right now.
Sure.
They're just doing the seams on all the pieces, but
we just did some B-roll in the boiler room, and it's just so cool to be in Freddy's boiler room.
Freddy's world again. I haven't been in there yet. I've been in Jason's world, you know, the whole time I've been up here.
Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just talking with Leanne about, I mean, how exciting it's going to be just to see the nuances and the different trappings and conventions of both franchises.
Yeah,
together.
well, it's great. You know, when we get into Jason's Nightmare is going to be, I mean, we haven't done it yet. I just know what I know from what's on the page. But Jason's Nightmare, is going to be just incredible. They've done some that I'm not in, but I'm in some of it too. And there's an opening that was a little dry on the page. I mean, I liked it, and it was necessary because it got some backstory in and some exposition. But I saw the storyboards for the sequence and the way time is stretched. There's just actually a simple thing of a camp counselor drops a key, and I saw one of the storyboards, and the camera was actually in a hole behind the key, and the girl she's locked out, and she goes back, and of course we know that cha-cha-cha-cha.
Yeah.
We know Jason's out there in the woods by this time. And that key, that dropped camp counselor key, you know, becomes this great thing, and she's been rude to this kid, and now the kid's locked her out of the cabin. We know Jason's out there, and there's a sort of a Jaws homage in the beginning too, you know, with the lake, you know. Yeah, be real careful in that corner, because Bill's a little too close. He's actually in my eye, and I'm grouchy. No, but Yeah, it's fun, but I'm really anxious to get into some of my turf.
Yeah.
And there's a little homage in there. There's also a nice little insane asylum sequence that I'm in.
You know what's interesting is
nice.
I had a day of really nothing to do when I first got here. So I popped by MTV Canada, which is right across the street from the hotel. And one of the guys it was his first day as on-air talent for one of their shows, was an extra in the asylum scene the other day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be nasty stuff. Jason Ritter's actually got, as an actor, you read the script, and Jason's part is so great, the part of Will, because he gets to be kind of damaged, because he's been held, he's been like, wrongly sent away, because he knows some of the truth, or he's misunderstood something that he's seen, or he doesn't know what he's seen, and he's been drugged all these years, so he gets to be not only kind of heroic, but damaged, a reluctant hero, which is nice, than just being the sort of, when I was in theater, we used to just call the sort of male ingenue, or the juvenile, which is, they're usually, they're the hardest parts to play. They're kind of thankless. Yeah. And, but in this case, the hero boy, Will, which is Jason Ritter, he gets to really sink his teeth into his part. Because he's kind of like a little bit damaged goods, It's kind of a nice part.
Now, obviously, there's no need to mire down this movie. There's so much to do with the movie. I'm sure they don't mire it down too much in continuity. But is there any kind of references to, anything?
Oh yeah. There's lots of that. But it's also, I do even the fire. I shot, the monster and the villagers yesterday, Friday night. They're getting burned by the vigilantes again.
Oh, cool.
Which we've already had in one of the other Nightmare films.
Yeah, and I remember in Freddy's Dead you got to do some scenes out of your makeup.
Yeah, and this one, this is the same, but this is like now it's Millennium creepy. It's Millennium serial killer creepy. It's creepy. It's Freddy's scrapbook. It's what Freddy was doing down there just before they threw the Molotov cocktails and the torches. We didn't know what he was doing in that room. After he gets off. I also get to do. I don't know if it's going to be film or stills, but I'm going to do this sort of, Freddy, right when he gets off, with the hung jury. When my lawyer gets me off, and I'm hoping to get a kind of a. Remember that movie, The Craze?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get like that kind of a suit.
Oh wow.
For Freddy, because I see Freddy sort of being sort of like a, a sort of a little rock, kind of like a rockabilly Lee Harvey Oswald.
Right.
Is how I sort of want
You
it
can
to
almost
look.
see him in a bow tie.
Well, to me, it's going to be like a skinny tie and just and a Walmart shirt and a crappy little sharkskin suit. Real bowling alley.
We're going to see any kind of Hannibal Lecter style headlines, maybe a montage.
Well, I think you're seeing
Here you are,
Freddy. I think you see Freddy's collection of headlines. I don't know if the audiences. I wrote a version once where I had the entire history of Freddy on microfilm because I love that Brian De Palma film, Sisters. And there's a great device in that film where they're looking on about the French-Canadian twins, played by Margot Kidder, Siamese twins, and they do, and the girl that's researching it does her whole research on microfilm, and then later on she's drugged and she has a nightmare, and her nightmare is in the style of microfilm, and microfiche and video, and sort of that kind of journalistic research she did, and so I always loved that sequence, so I wrote it. But in this film, I think they do a little bit of that. I think the boys, Will and Mark. Don't Will and Mark, Leanne?
Pardon me?
Don't Will and Mark go to, don't they do some research in a library with microfilm or something still in the movie? Yeah.
Yes.
That actually
So they get to work that in.
Yeah.
They do a flashback on the whole.
Yeah.
You mentioned to me on the phone that you that you had written kind of a Freddy origin story.
Well, that was, I did a draft for,
You did some things that got worked into the
I did a
series,
treatment for part 3.
Yeah.
And some of those ideas have showed up in 4, 5, and in the series. I didn't, they didn't really get in. But the microfilm thing in this one was my opening in part 3. My opening title sequence was all microfilm. And it's nice to see, I don't believe for a minute that anybody working on this script is borrowing from me, but I love seeing that only because that also gives it a kind of it gives it a retro feel. You know, I mean, nobody would be going on a computer because it wouldn't necessarily be on a computer.
Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't be that stored there yet, necessarily. I mean, maybe the newspapers were, or maybe in our particular plot turn, there's a reason for it not being on the computers. It's sort of been, you know, what's that called with typewriter, the typewriter stuff? Whiteout.
Typewriter, yeah.
It's been whiteout. It's sort of like a computer whiteout's gone on there.
Yes. 12:30, we'll pop back in.
Oh God, the PAX. Is this PAX?
Not yet.
Oh, what is this?
This is just Prozac.
Oh, more Prozac.
Robert, you've got to be a makeup expert at this point.
Well, no, but the technology changes. You know, there's new stuff all the time. They're using stuff on me. They're using more than one different kind of glue this time for different parts of my face and for places that it really needs to lie down. And they use a stronger glue when I'm underwater. You know, and so the sculpting is a lot finer than it used to be. I mean, you can see it hasn't been painted yet, and it hasn't been. There's like an oil, like a teak wash that goes over it, which brings up all of the detailed sculpting, and you can't really see it now. But there's like sculpting around my eyes that's as fine as like hairline. You know, which, you know, the guys that did the originals. The original was intentionally done a little rougher and thicker, but Kevin Yeager refined them almost prophylactic thin. But as the camera got farther away from me, that stuff didn't show up as much. But with Bill's sculpting on this one, there's shots where the camera literally goes into my eye on this, and you see all the detail. But also, I can be, you know, a block away from the camera and lit now, and the relief also still shows up in terms of a sort of signature disfigurement, because he's got the bold and the refined all in one concept on this.
Now, Kevin came in the second one, right?
Kevin did 2, 3, and 4. David Miller came back for.
So each of these guys gets to kind of build on. You know,
yeah, I mean, I think we have to kind of nod. This should be a tip of the hat to old Dave Miller, because he did sort of conceive of it, and I think that original conception, because you know he had to take it from words, you know, from Wes Craven. It began as words. It's just two guys talking, and because the description of Freddy on the papers, and then they were wise enough to really, you know, use my face. Of course.
Yeah, I was gonna say
a couple more of these, and I'm gonna start looking like Freddy myself. By the time Patricia gets done with me here in another month, I'm gonna be ready.
I was gonna say that's a major distinction between you and Jason, is you can kind of put, you know, anybody behind a hockey mask.
That wimp. Well, I don't think that's the truth.
But this makeup is really.
I don't think that's the truth, because I really believe that Kane and the guys that have played Jason have really brought something to that part, in the stillness and everything. But there's a body language there too. But I did a body language that I just don't think anybody else could replicate, because it's me.
And then the makeup's just so molded to your
And the
face.
makeup's off my face. Yeah, I mean, I get recognized, you know, 25 times a day. Sometimes it's from being on talk shows and shows like on yours, where I've been out of makeup. But a lot of times, you know, I'll have been drinking the night before or something, or I'll have my hair really cut short for a role. Mm-hmm. You know, for a long time I had my hair really long. I even wore it in a ponytail for a while, a dork knob, as the kids say. But when I had my hair real short, and I had it real punk blonde for a movie I did recently, and very short, and I'm recognized a lot more than, because the silhouette, the line of my head, is my head, you know, when my hair is short. It's the Freddy head. It's the same thing as Freddy bald.
Sorry. Just tell me to get out of your way.
And when my hair's real short, I have really big ears. My ears really stick out. I mean, I always think of myself as having a big nose, but when I was a kid, you know, the kids called me Dumbo in the 3rd grade. It was very traumatic. And but my ears exaggerated with the makeup, and then my own hair is short. You know, I do look like Freddy.
And undoubtedly, you can bring some of that childhood trauma into your.
Oh yes,
trail.
of course. It's just Patricia punching me that This is my sense of memory. This is my method acting. I just remember Patricia. It's a real ear under there, Patty. Robert Englund here, a.k.a. Freddy Krueger. We're finishing up the 9-day makeup session here on Freddy versus Jason. All you kiddies out there, all you fans can look forward to that coming summer 2003. I want to let you know I've dispatched Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child already. Nellie, look out, you're next. Then I'm on to the boy bands. There'll be no trance in my pants. This ain't no disco. Get away, we're done. Freddy Krueger saying, ciao.
And roll the sound, please.
Okay, cut. Yeah, let's do another one.
Who is that?
Go. And yep. Camera. Action.
It's not this. No, I don't think so. No. It's a video.
Cool. Cut. Okay, check the gate.
Check the gate.
Printing,
Okay,
1 and 2.
We're doing this.
I'll keep this because it's gone. No, cut all of them.
Yes. Yeah, this is exciting. Wow.
This is as good as it
Yeah,
gets.
this is the action-packed stuff.
This-
we came
Ooh,
for.
the glamour of it all.
Yeah.
This is the dangerous part.
Forget Freddy.
Far more frightening than Freddy's glove.
Oh, big time. When I say to somebody, stop me, they're way more afraid of me than of
So
Freddy.
the wrong scene to be
Okay.
doing also. We're like completely gone.
How many hours have you been awake?
That would take me like another 2 hours to figure that out. I just know it was since like yesterday wait. I don't know. I went to work yesterday at 5, worked till 7, came here at 8.
So is your character shuttling off this mortal coil at some point today?
I think
Meeting a doom of some sort?
I die.
She's already died once.
I die repeatedly. I'm always dying.
Dying to get some sleep.
Dying to get some sleep. Someone just hit me on the head with something and knocked me out. Please. Be fine.
Oops, sorry.
They all look like she only looks a little bit. Oh, it's making me believe that over your rest.
Should go around the long way here.
Yeah.
No, this is Freddy's shadow. This is gonna be Freddy's shadow.
Perfect camera weight for editing.
All right, I'll let you go.
Fans never fear, they haven't changed much. Except this.
I think they would. I think they worked out the case in their latest Voorhees. Oh my god. And we'll see.
Do it top.
I don't have the claw with me.
That's okay. I got some really good claw stuff earlier.
Anything you'd like me to do in particular?
No. You are fine as you are.
I think there's various sweaters, all in varying degrees of broken down states. Some with blood on them,